Welcome to the Velotric Discover 2 overview. My name is Randy. I make e-bike videos. If you guys are interested in picking up a Velotric Discover 2, there will be a link in the first line of the description. If you click that link and purchase any Velotric e-bike, it does directly support the channel. So I appreciate it if you decide to pick one up. Guys, I'm so excited to show you this bike. This is one of those bikes I have to keep a secret, and it releases tomorrow, so I'm trying to film and edit this video all at the same time. I just unboxed it last night, and man, what an excellent bike. So this is the pine green color on the Velotric, and they do have 3 other colors besides this. They have a stone gray, a mint, and a cherry crimson, which is like a red color. So lots of options for you guys, and it does currently only come in a step-through version, so this is really a bike for everybody. So the Discover 2 is going to come in a regular size and a large size. My review unit is the large version. The regular version will handle riders from 4'11 to 5'9, so it's going to be same styling, and the look and everything is going to be the same. It's just going to be a little bit smaller of a bike for the shorter people out there. And then they have the large version, which is mine, and that's got a range of 5'6" to 6'4" on rider height. So that's pretty nice. It says the max range is 75 miles. You can probably get that with PAS1 in eco mode. I would guess that we'll probably get about 25 or 30 miles roughly on a full range test with throttle only. I haven't even tested throttle yet. This bike is really made to pedal. It's got a torque sensor, the gearing's really nice, and overall it's just a fantastic pedaling bike. So I'm gonna have to test the throttling once I get out here after I go over the bike with you guys. And one of the really nice things about Velotric bikes is they always have the paint to match battery. So when you pop this battery off, it has a metal plate here, and it's matched to the color of the bike. So if you look at this bike, it doesn't even really look like an electric bike. It's also a class 3 e-bike, but you can change the modes, so you can have it be a class 1 e-bike if you want. It just depends on the area you live in, and then they give you separate stickers for each different class. So you have a class 1, class 2, and class 3 sticker that you can place right here. I had the class 2 sticker on mine. That's what was installed when I got the bike. And as you can see here, they have the UL certification on the frame, and this is for the whole bike. Electrical system, the entire thing, the motor, the controller, and the battery. So they got the big one, the UL2849, which means you're not going to have to worry about anything happening to this bike when you're charging the bike. But this bike is exceptional. I really think I'm going to keep this bike around for a while, do a lot of extensive testing, do a long review on it. So if that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now they do have their own proprietary motor. This is the Velotric Velo Power Drive System, and the motor is excellent so far. Now I've only ridden a couple miles, so it'll take a little bit for me to give you my full opinion. This is just a quick first impression and overview of the bike, but my God, so far, first impressions, knocking it out of the park. Now, like I said, you can take this battery off. They give you 2 Velotric branded keys to take this off. You can bring it inside to charge it, or you can charge it on the bike. Here's the port. This battery is IPX7 waterproof, and the rest of the bike is IPX6, so you can power wash the battery. I would take it easy on the motor, but they said you can throw this battery in a pool, in a washing machine, anything, and they have videos of them doing that, and I'll pop one of those up on the screen. That is really, really nice to know that if you get caught in a downpour and you're just soaked, you do not have to worry about this bike failing you, and you still will be able to ride home no matter what. The screen on this thing is excellent. There's so many different customization options, and I'll go through that in this video, but the screen is really nice to look at in bright daylight. It's super sunny right now, and I can see it clearly. I don't know how well you guys can see it on this camera, but it's got the quality of an iPhone screen, so very, very nice. I like seeing the landscape orientation. Most of them are in portrait or vertical. This is horizontal. I really like that. They also give you an adjustable stem out of the box. I have mine raised up quite a bit as I am a taller rider, but you can lower this down as well. So if you're shorter, it doesn't have to be up this high. And they have a really nice set of handlebars on here that are swept back. Very comfortable ride. These grips are amazing, very comfortable. I love the palm rest here. A lot of cushion, a lot of grip, just overall really well. They do have the Tetra hydraulic brakes on here. They work excellent. I'm glad to see that they actually put hydraulic brakes on their bike. That makes everything so much better when it comes to stopping power. So you're going to see something new here. This is the new controls for the Velotric screen. It gives you the power button up here. These 2 buttons here are turn signals. When you hit that, it actually flashes the turn signal on the screen. You have a mode button here. This is how you also get into the settings to change it. If you push and hold this, it takes you into the settings on the screen, but this goes through all the different settings on the bottom of the screen here. And then you have your plus and minus buttons for activating your PAS levels. And if you push and hold the plus button, that's how you activate the headlight and tail light. But they also have an auto feature, so when it gets dark, the lights will automatically turn on. So you really don't even need to mess with the headlight button unless you want to. And if you push and hold the minus button, it will turn into walk mode. And then there's another button down here at the bottom, and that's how you change your different modes from Eco, Trail, and Boost. And then this is your thumb throttle, so let's turn the PAS all the way down. That's your thumb throttle. You can control this with the PAS levels, or you can have it to where this is always going to give you full power. You can adjust that setting in the menu, which is really cool. And then you got your nice 8-speed Shimano gear set here. It is a Altus derailleur, so it works really well. This seems to be a little bit better than some of the trigger shifters I've used. It looks like it's got a little bit more response, and the clicking sounds are a little bit louder. So it might be just a little bit better quality compared to some of the other ones I've tested. It's really easy to shift through gears using these, and I much prefer that over the other type, which is the SIS Index. So here is your front suspension. It does have a preload adjustment right here and a lockout on the other side. This does have 80 millimeters of travel. It is hydraulic and it works really, really good. You will have no problems riding off-road with this bike if you want to, though it's really made for the street. And to pair that with the street riding, you have a nice set of Kenda tires. These things are excellent. They make no noise, very little rolling resistance, and it's just a overall great tire. They are puncture resistant, so you should hopefully not have to worry about flats too often. And you can just tell they're a quality tire. I really, really like them. I'm glad to see that they did something nice there. And then down here you have your 180 millimeter rotors and your Tektro calipers. They are hydraulic, like I said. All the wiring is really nice and managed. They have a bunch of places where the wiring comes up, so you don't have a whole lot of wiring in the way. and I like how they have this all integrated into the frame. They have wiring for this side of the bike over here, wiring for that side of the bike over there, and then a couple right here that go up inside the frame. Looks like they do have an option to add a front basket. I don't know if those are available yet. They might be. The website link's not up yet, but if they do have that option, it looks like you can add a front basket or a front rack to this, so that's pretty nice. You do have nice metal fenders on the front and back. Now, one thing I noticed when I assembled this bike is this through axle is really beefy. It's one of the beefiest through axles I've seen. You can tell when you get this secured how secure the front wheel is going to be. They used to put quick releases on here to make changing flat tires a little bit easier, but now that they have better tires, they have better hardware up here in the front. I like to see that. And as we go down through the frame here, here's your keyhole. It's recessed, so you can't really see it, making it a little bit better for waterproofing. You can see the stem here is Velotric branded, which is nice. You got your Velotric branded crank arm here with your single guard 46 tooth front chain ring. They do not have a derailleur guard. I really wish they would put a derailleur guard on these with a double walled chain guard. That really does prevent a lot of problems with this. Your chain can fall off, your pants can get caught in here. So maybe on an upgrade for the next iteration of the Velotric Discover 2, they could add the double walled chain guard and a derailleur guard. It's got a Shimano Altus derailleur. That's a step up from your standard Tourney derailleurs that you see on a lot of budget bikes. So this is a nice derailleur. They work really well, shift a whole lot better than the other one, and I like that. Here is your Velotric hub motor in the back. It is a Velotric branded motor. It is their own motor. They produce the parts for that, and so far it seems to be really, really good. And like I said, it does have a torque sensor, so that makes a world of difference for a bike that you want to pedal. The rear rack is really nice. This has the MIC HD system, so you can buy a bunch of accessories like child seats, baskets that integrate into this and they slide in. You can, swap those things out. So if you have a child seat and you want to use a basket the next day, you can pull the child seat off and put a basket on. They make a bunch of different accessories. I believe they also have panniers that slide into the system that slide in on each side and have panniers on the side. I think that's pretty cool, or panniers, whatever you guys want to call it. Here is your rear fender with the Velotric logo on the back. It's a pretty nice touch. And then here is your brake light with the turn signals, and you have your reflector on the bottom. And then here's the seat, pretty comfortable. It goes down pretty low as well, so if you're shorter, you can fit on this bike. And then down here you have a place for a water bottle or a lock or something like that. Nice to see that they have that feature. A lot of companies don't put those on there. I don't know why. It's something simple. If you need a nice cold beverage, there's a place to put your bottle holder. And that's pretty much it as far as the overview goes. I'm ready to go ride this thing. I'm excited to try this thing out some more and ride it around my neighborhood. Alright, this is our maiden voyage on the Discover 2. We are currently riding in PAS 1. We're going to drop that down to PAS 0. Now, riding this in PAS 0 is actually pretty decent. Now, you're not going to want to climb hills at PAS 0, but if you did have a dead battery and needed to pedal home, very possible with this bike. The gearing's set up to where you can pretty much ride this like a regular bike. But we're not a regular bike kind of channel, we're an electric bike channel. So we're going to kick it into mode 1. We are in eco, and every level that we go up, the color changes. So as we put more power into this, we're going to get a little bit more speed out of the motor because this does have a torque sensor. Now the higher number on your pedal assist, the faster that torque sensor is going to work. We're in eco mode at PAS 2 now. and it feels like I'm getting a little bit more power. And as I move up gears here, I'm on gear 6, I can give it a little bit more power, and the motor is giving us a little bit more power. So that's kind of how a torque sensor works. The harder you pedal, the more power you're going to get. Now you're only going to get a max miles per hour depending on what number you're on. So we'll go to 3 and that number will increase. And as we put power into this, we're going to see our speed go up a little bit. Now we're out on the main road here, so I actually probably need to lift my seat up a little bit. But we're still in eco mode, and we are in pedal assist 5. We got quite a bit of resistance here so far, but this is going to give you a gradual increase in speed, and very gradual. Now this does have 8 speeds, so you're going to have quite a bit of range as far as gears go. In eco mode, you're probably going to have to downshift a little bit because it's not going to give you as much power. It's trying to conserve energy to get the most out of your bike. So riding around in eco at PAS 5, you can see we're only doing 15 miles an hour. But as we increase our pedal power, our speed increases. And as we downshift, we can pedal harder. And you can hear that motor starting to work. So it's going to take you a lot more effort in eco mode to get up to these top speeds. So we're going to move over to the next mode, which is trail, which should be pretty conservative if you were like on a bike trail, but more power than you'll get with the eco mode. So it's in between boost mode and eco mode. Boost mode is your most power, and we're at PAS 5 in trail mode. And it does look like the GPS and the speedometer are pretty close to being the same throughout the whole mile per hour range. Now I'm still getting really good resistance here. It's definitely a pedal bike. Feels great with that torque sensor. So as we continue to push, we'll get faster speed, but we're going around a turn. So, all right, so let's move to the next mode and the fastest mode, which is boost mode. And you can already see I'm not putting that much power into it, and the speed just already started going up. So I'm barely putting any power into this, and we are getting pretty fast speed here. Let's see how fast we can get. Hey, horsey. Oh man, we got it to 31 miles an hour there. 30 miles an hour. This is flat right here. Making sure that back tire is still holding there. Holding pretty steady here. Brakes look like they work pretty good. And we haven't tried throttle yet, so we're gonna do that next. Yeah, so we're on the highest level that you can get out of the 15 different levels that you get. We're in boost mode at level 5. We still have resistance. Definitely an excellent pedaling bike. You will get some exercise no matter what level of pedal assist you're in or what level of the different modes you're in. So that's pretty nice. Looks like we may even have to downshift here a little bit on the highest level. All right, we're gonna dive deep into these menus on the Velotric Discover 2. First thing we're gonna do is power it on. and you'll be greeted with a Velotric logo with the yellow background. And then here is the screen. On the control over here, we will be clicking on menu. I really like how the screen is. I like the horizontal layout. It's a little bit different than how other companies are doing it. I like the clearness of the screen. It looks like as good of quality as, let's say, an iPhone or the latest Android phone. That's how good the screen looks. They got their Velotric logo right here. Displays the miles per hour, your PAS levels, what mode you're in. So there's 3 different modes. I'll show you that in just a second. And then we can go through the menus here. Starts off with your odometer, which has 0.4 miles on it. I've not ridden it yet, so they must have tested the bike before shipping it. We're definitely going to be putting more miles on this today after we go through the menu. But total time the bike's been on is 3 minutes. Trip distance, and this can be reset in the menu. I'll show you how to do that, but it'll tell you your distance in miles as well as your trip time. Then it shows your average speed and your max speed. Average speed 7.2 miles per hour, max speed 20. I don't believe this bike's unlocked. They told me it was from the factory, but I don't think it is. It'll show you how many calories you burned, how much carbon dioxide you've saved by riding your bike, which is kind of a nice touch. And this bike does have turn signals, so when you turn the turn signal on, it does display on the screen left and right, so that's a pretty handy. Yeah, so when you change your modes, it will also change colors. And when we hit the throttle, it'll jump up there. You'll see the little display change. And it changes to whatever color you're in as far as the mode goes. So on the remote, you'll push and hold the top button to turn on the headlight and tail light. There is an option in the menu to change the settings on the taillight, so you can have the taillight blink. You can have it blink all the time and solid when you hit the brakes, or you can just have it blink when you hit the brakes. There's a couple different settings where you can change what the brake capability is, the brake light. I'll show you that. That's pretty cool. And then on the minus button, if you push and hold that, it gives you walk mode. So over here you have 3 different options: Eco, Trail, and Boost. Boost is your max power, and those 3 options plus 5 pedal assists for each one. So a total of 15 different options with the different modes and the different pedal assist levels. We'll test those when we go out for a ride. To get into the menu system, you have to push and hold the M button for 2 seconds. And that'll take you to your menu. And it's real clear, very easy to read, super user-friendly. All you use is the plus and minus button to go down through everything. And then you hit the M to select it. If you don't want to do anything, you hit the bottom button, which is back. You have different riding modes, so let's go into this. So riding mode just basically takes you to whatever riding mode you choose. We can go into Eco, Trail, or Boost, but you can also do that from the main menu. Speed limit, so this is where you will adjust how fast you want the bike to go, the max speed. So currently it's limited to 20 miles per hour, and our max is 28, so we're going to leave that. And I'm going to show you what the speed is with no load. Looks like 31 is our max speed. And that motor sounds really cool actually. So we can change the screen brightness. 5 is the max. We can go down to 1. Probably better for video if we were on 1, but then we can do auto. So with the auto screen brightness, and it also has an automatic headlight, when you cover up the sensor, the screen will dim. So this is basically emulating if it was dark outside. It's going to dim the screen, and in a second here you'll see a glare off the floor there of the headlight turning on. There you go, it just kind of flashed a little bit. So the headlight automatically turns on. When we take our hand away, the screen will get brighter and the headlight will eventually go off. Takes a few seconds. So there's that. And then we hit M to save. Now we can have it auto power off. We can have it auto power off within certain increments. So it's set as 5 by default. You can turn auto power off completely. 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, however long you want. Yeah, I'll probably leave mine at 60 minutes because when I record videos, I sometimes leave the bike on so that I can show the screen. That way it doesn't time out on me. And then you just hit the M to save it. And I could also completely turn it off, but just in case I forget to power off the bike when I get home, I like to have the auto power off setting at least on. So if it sits here for an hour without anything happening to it, it will automatically shut off. Auto light, so we saw the auto light feature. When you cover the screen, it turns the light on automatically. You most likely can just turn this on and off. I'll leave it on. Rear light mode, so this is where you can change what the rear light does. It's pretty cool. So this is basically controlling how the rear light works. We have it set at 1 by default, which is when you're riding, it's steady. When you're braking, it's enhanced. You can change this to have it flashing when you're riding and then braking when enhanced. And I'll show you what enhanced means in a second. And then 3, you can have it steady when you're riding and when you brake, enhanced with flashing. Throttle limit. So throttle limited, basically if you have this on, your throttle will be limited by your PAS levels. So whatever PAS level you have it at, the throttle will only go a certain speed. If you turn this off, your throttle is at full speed all the time. Some people prefer it one way versus the other. I'll leave it on for now, but we may test this when we get out in the field if I remember. Cruise control, so you have the option to have cruise control. We're going to turn that on. Connect to the app. So the Velotric Discover 2 has an app now. We will connect to the app in just a second. I do have it downloaded, but if you click on this, it'll give you a QR code so you can use the iPhone app and do a bunch of stuff. We'll go through all of that. I'll talk about it. It's also how you activate Apple Health, and we also can set up Apple Find My. So if you guys are familiar with that, Apple Find My is basically like if you lose your phone, you can find your device on somebody else's phone or your AirPods or anything Apple related, if you guys are familiar with that. If for any reason you lose your bike, if for any reason your bike gets stolen, you'll be able to go into the Find My app and see where the bike is located. I will demonstrate that as well. Set unit, so you can change it from miles to kilometers. There's a whole section dedicated to the Apple Find My and the manual. It walks you step by step on how to install this and get it all set up. How to enable lost mode, how to disable lost mode, how to remove your bike from the Find My app. Pretty much everything is in here that you'll need to assemble, set up, control the bike. Very nice manual, pretty small, easy to put in a bike bag, so you always have it with you. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the different braking settings on the bike. The brake light can be adjusted as far as the way it's activated and how it works. So we'll go into the menu. So it's currently in setting 1, where it has a solid light when you're riding, and then it brightens up, or it's enhanced when you hit the brake. So we're going to change that to mode 2. So rear light mode 2 is a flashing riding light. So as you're riding the bike, the light will continue to flash, and when you hit the brake, it'll be enhanced. And then in riding mode 3, it will be steady while you're riding, and when you hit the brake, it'll blink. I personally like this one the best. If I'm riding at night, maybe mode 2 would be good, because then your light will always be blinking. All right, we're going down my road for hill climbing. See if we can make it up this hill with just throttle only. I believe this has 75 Newton meters of torque. So it should be able to get up the first hill. I don't know about the second one, probably not. People are just so impatient. All right, I made it up the first hill. Let's see if it'll make it up the second one. Right up here past this dirt area that you see, the brown area. Right next to that, there is a 8% grade hill. And it's pretty steep. So we'll see if this can do it. So far it's doing pretty good on the 6 to 7% grade hill. Let's see how we do with the 8%, which is right up here where that little orange flag is. Almost down to 6 miles an hour. But we made it up it. So 8% grade, throttle only, it can do pretty good. So normally I do a dead stop, but because this is a torque sensor, we'll just do a slow start. Okay, here we go. Now as we put pedal pressure on the torque sensor and we crank a little harder, we're going to get more power, which should help us get up this hill. And so I gave it all I could give up that hill, and definitely doable. Did we graduate to the 12% grade? Nah. So first impressions of the Velotric Discover 2. I absolutely love this bike. If you're looking for an all-around good e-bike, then definitely check out the Discover 2. I think they have this MSRP at $16.99. There will be a coupon code down in the description if you decide to purchase. Save you a little bit of money off the cost of your Discover 2. So I do have a direct contact with the marketing team over at Velotric, so if you have any questions that I don't know the answers to, we'll respond to those as soon as I get the answer. But yeah, first impressions on this bike, absolutely amazing. Definitely worth every bit of the money. You get some really high quality parts on this bike. There's nothing cheap on this bike at all. Definitely a good purchase if you're looking for an e-bike and you're new to this, or if you want to upgrade from your Discover 1. I did review the Discover 1. This is definitely a huge upgrade compared to that bike in terms of comfort, rideability, all the things that you would want on an e-bike this has. All right, now we're going to go through the Velotric app. We're going to launch that. Velotric would like to use Bluetooth, so we'll allow that. I will create an account. All right, so after you sign in, it's going to ask you, do you want to allow Velotric to use your location? That's up to you. I'm going to have it do it while I'm using their app. Would you like them to send you notifications? Sure. And then we'll want to pair our bike. So we'll hit pair my bike. Looks like they offer this feature with these 3 models, so we're going to pick Discover 2. And Velotric would like to access your camera, so we're going to allow. place the QR code in this area. So we'll have to go to the Connect the app. One last thing, name your bike. Randy Rides 1. Done. Finish. Battery is 100%. It shows your odometer. You can change your bike settings in here. Whatever you choose here will most likely change the setting on the bike. So we're in trail mode. Let's put it in the boost mode. Yeah, it does it right. Okay, that's pretty cool. So when you click on these different riding modes, it will automatically change it on the bike if you activate it. You can change the screen brightness, the speed limit, auto power off, auto light, cruise control, all the things that you can do when you're going through the bike settings on the screen. But it looks like there is a firmware update, so we're going to go ahead and update the controller. So let's go ahead and click on update. Maybe this will fix my Find My issue. Okay, it just did the update and it shut off. Okay, so now we're done updating the firmware. And we're going to go back into profile and see what that's about. You can look at a list of your rides, which is cool. So you can keep track of, I guess, where you rode, maybe. We'll have to mess with this while we're out. We can change our unit to kilometers or miles in here. Data synchronization, so we can synchronize our health data with Apple Health. So the data that you get off of this bike from riding it will be transferred over to Apple Health. So we're going to go ahead and connect that. And there's only one option, cycling distance. That's the only thing it tracks. And it will auto synchronize. When connected to Health, Velotric will sync your ride data with Apple Health. After that, you can go to the app and services of Health, stop syncing Velotric data to Health. I guess if you want to turn it off. But we're connected, so we'll be able to track our data with Apple Health. We'll look at that later. Then it tells you about Velotric, the terms of use and privacy. And then we can do start riding. Looks like you can get your trip time, your trip distance, what mode you're in, what pedal assist you're in, average speed, max speed, all the stuff you can see on the screen. That's really cool. You can pause your ride, so if you're not riding, you can pause it and hold the stop will end your ride, resume will continue your ride. But it currently tells you that you're recording, so let's go ahead and pause and then hold a stop. And that will stop your ride, and it's not going to save it because you didn't do any riding at all, and it knows that, so it didn't save my ride. So one of the big advantages of being a little bit late to the party is that I actually get to go to their website and put it in my video. So the Discover 2 just came out yesterday. I unfortunately didn't get my video done. I tried really hard to get it done last night, but I stayed up till 4 in the morning and I had to call it quits. So here it is. This is my video on the Discover 2. I'm going to go through their website a little bit and show you what all they have on it. And if you guys have any questions, again, just leave them down in the comments. So they do have 2 different versions of the bike. They have the regular version and the large. They have 4 different colors. The color here is cherry crimson. They got stone gray, pine green, which is the one that I'm reviewing, and then mint. They all look really nice. The red one's really cool. I should have probably picked that one, but I like the green. It's real classy. I like the chrome logo of Velotric going up the side. I think that looks really nice. Currently, they're in the pre-order stage, so if you buy the bike today, you can expect to get it in about 3 weeks if you place your order today. I would highly recommend jumping on ordering your bike because these are not going to be in stock very long. I don't know the quantity of what they have in inventory, but usually with these pre-sales, there is a chance that you might not get the bike that you want. So if you're looking for an e-bike, the Discover 2 is one that fits the bill. I highly recommend purchasing ASAP. And if you use code Randy Rides, you will save $60 off the cost of the Velotric Discover 2. So you do have a couple different options for bundles. One comes with the rear and front basket, and then the second one comes with a mirror and a phone holder included as well. Each of those prices are listed right there, and those are subject to change depending on what they do in the future. So if you want to see if you fit on the bike, you can click on the size and fit, put your height here. So if you're 4'6", you're not going to fit on either bike, but if you're 4'11", you'll fit on the regular one. And if you're 5'6", you'll fit on either one. I would edge to the regular one if you're 5'6". And then once you hit the 5'10" mark, the regular is no longer going to fit you. So this is kind of cool that they have this. And then once you get over 6'4", if you're 6'5", you will not fit on this bike. That's what they're saying. So it looks like you have 14-day trial period. So if you're not happy with the bike, you can return it, but there are restocking fees. So I want to check into that if you decide you don't want it. Then it does have a 2-year warranty, which is really nice to see. A lot of e-bike companies are only doing 1 year. There's more information about that on their website if you're interested in learning about that. And over here, this is telling you just a little bit more about what we went through in the video. So you're welcome to go check that out. I did not go over the Type-C port on the remote right here. It does have Type-C charging, so you can charge your phone while you're riding your bike. So that's pretty nice. So they also sent me this deck that tells me a little bit more about the comparisons and what they want me to film. Here's one of the big ones that really caught my attention, and that's the comparison from the Discover 1 to the Discover 2. You can look at this, pause the video, whatever you need to do. This is the differences between the two. I know a lot of you are going to be wondering what's different between the Discover 1 versus the 2. You can see it's a huge upgrade. And if you guys are interested in picking up a Velotric Discover 2, there will be a link down in the description. Again, save $60 by using my code Randy Rides, and I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.